And here is the man directly responsible for putting Batista out of action in January, forcing him to relinquish the World Championship, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Out on the expansive Texas plains where dawn unfolds in stillness and the land seems endless, Mark Henry has forged a life as enduring as his legend. His ranch isn't just where he lives. It's a symbol of strength, deep roots, and the rewards he's built, one disciplined day at a time. Today we open his gates and step into his world, long after the crowds have faded and the spotlight's gone. Here, Mark Henry is not just a champion, but a man shaped by discipline, family, and the drive to give back. Early life and background. Mark's journey begins in Silsby, Texas, a quiet town where life moved slowly but challenges hit hard. Born on June 12, 1971, Mark entered a family where toughness was inherited. At just 12, losing his father left both the house and his spirit shaken. School wasn't easy. Dyslexia made every lesson a trial, and grief weighed on every day. But with his mother's quiet encouragement, Mark pushed forward. Two things anchored him: the weight set bought by his mother and the towering wrestlers he watched on late-night TV. One unforgettable night, he met Andre the Giant, who hoisted him over a barricade at a show, a touch that felt like destiny guiding his path. By 14, Mark stood 5'5", weighed 225 pounds, and could squat 600. Strength came easily, but discipline was forged alone in quiet gyms and shadowy corners. In 1990, he seized the National High School Powerlifting Championship, breaking world teenage records. Each victory, state, national, then international, revealed raw power, but coaches and mentors saw something rarer: true greatness. Rise in powerlifting and Olympic lifting. Mark was brought to Austin for Olympic lifting, and he soon became America's top super heavyweight. On the world stage, his strength was unmatched, but greatness often comes with setbacks. In the 1996 Summer Olympics, a back injury forced an early exit. That moment, with the Olympic lights fading, could have been the end, a slide into obscurity that so often claims injured athletes. But Mark refused to let that be his story. Instead, he searched for a new challenge. Unexpectedly, wrestling called. Transitioned to wrestling and WWE career. At 24, Mark signed a 10-year deal with WWF. The world of wrestling was anything but welcoming. The culture was rough and expectations sky high. Mark dedicated himself to learning, building characters, studying the craft, reinventing himself again and again, from comedic act to one of the most powerful forces in the ring. Personal loss struck again in 2001 with the passing of his mother, a blow he transformed into triumph. In 2002, he won the Arnold Strongman Classic, dedicating the victory to her memory. Slowly but surely, Mark climbed the wrestling ranks, not by luck, but by grit and sheer will. Milestones marked his path, capturing the Extreme Championship Wrestling title in 2008, then the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in 2011. His career wasn't sealed by shortcuts, but by years of choosing resilience over retreat. When he retired in 2018, he didn't walk away. He transformed, becoming a coach, mentor, and commentator, shaping the next generation of athletes. In 2021, Mark added another chapter, joining All Elite Wrestling, proving his story was far from finished. Ranch life in Texas. Let's leave the arenas behind and step into the world Mark built for himself. His Texas ranch. Spread over 30 acres, Mark's ranch emerges in the golden Texas sun, a western oasis crafted from sturdy stone and timber, rooted deeply in the land. The driveway winds under old oak trees, shadows dancing over the path toward a two-story home made of honey-colored rock and brick, a structure built to weather storms and time alike. A grand porch with thick wooden beams signals welcome. Inside, the house opens into soaring ranch architecture. Open trusses, earth-toned walls, and hardwood floors glowing beneath a flood of natural light. The living room's grand fireplace towers from floor to rafter, a place for family to gather as day turns to night. An arch leads to the dining room, where red walls and an iron chandelier wrap the space in warmth. Family photos ground the room in memory. The kitchen continues this blend of luxury and tradition, custom cabinetry, granite counters, soft lighting, and a huge island. Here, Mark prepares meals that bring family and guests together. The master suite is a retreat, with soft copper light, rustic wood, and a spa-like bath boasting a soaking tub and iron mirrors. Upstairs, a loft overlooks the living room, offering quiet perspective beneath cathedral-like beams. A tidy office stays ready for business, planning, or moments of mentorship. Beyond the home, the ranch is where the work really happens. There's an indoor sports area for volleyball and workouts, and outdoors, sturdy barns and fenced pastures stretch into the distance. This is where horses roam, where Mark unwinds, and where his children can play beneath the wide Texas sky. There's a lake for quiet reflection, a pool with star-patterned tiles for summer relaxation, and everywhere, the feel of purpose and peace, authenticity and comfort, all blended into a home as strong and steady as its owner. Vehicle collection and personal assets. Now, let's take a look at the vehicles that have rolled through Mark's journey. The Acura MDX isn't flashy. Mark chose it for its quiet reliability, a family vehicle that reflected his own understated strength, cruising Texas roads with ease. The Hummer H1, on the other hand, is pure muscle. Mark received it after winning the 2002 Arnold Strongman Classic, and it fits the wild back roads of his ranch perfectly. With a value of $60,000 and a history built on triumph, it's more than just a vehicle. It's a symbol of all he's earned. Together, these vehicles tell a story of practicality and power, of a man who values purpose over display. Financial overview and wealth. Mark's financial story begins with a number, $4.5 million net worth. Unlike overnight fortunes, Mark's was built slowly and steadily. Early on, wrestling contracts and competition stipends kept him afloat, paying for the essentials when the future was uncertain. But with every match, his profile rose, and so did his income. By the time he was a champion, his annual earnings reached the hundreds of thousands, boosted by merchandise sales and high-profile appearances. Victories in strongman competitions added their own rewards, medals, cash prizes, and that iconic Hummer. Even after retirement, Mark found new ways to keep his fortune growing, working as a coach, commentator, and mentor in the wrestling world. This steady income allowed him to build and maintain the lifestyle he enjoys today. The ranch, the cars, and most importantly, the security that comes from decades of consistent hard work. Philanthropy and community support. But wealth, for Mark, is a tool to help others. He's quietly donated over $200,000 to youth sports across Texas, funding equipment, repairing facilities, and sponsoring training for emerging talents. After seeing families struggle with medical bills, he gave over $200,000 to youth sports across Texas, funding equipment, repairing facilities, and sponsoring training for emerging talents. After seeing families struggle with medical bills, he gave over $150,000 to foundations that help cover treatment costs. Education is another passion, with more than $100,000 in scholarships going to students who balance academic and athletic excellence. And he supports community rebuilding, donating over $100,000 to restore small gyms and youth centers, the kind of places that gave him a start. Mark's philanthropy is steady, impactful, and deeply personal, aimed at giving others the chances he fought so hard to earn. Personal life and family. These days, Mark moves at a gentler, more grounded pace. His home in Texas is all about family. His wife, Jana Perry, and their children, Jacob and Joanna, are the center of his universe. He's managed to shield family life from the glare of fame, valuing the small everyday moments, school events, quiet dinners, and weekend rituals. Friendship remains crucial. The losses he's experienced, like that of his close friend Michael Clark Duncan, have made him treasure trusted relationships even more. He maintains strong bonds with fellow athletes and longtime colleagues, those who understand his journey and share in its ups and downs. Work is now about mentorship. Mark pours his energy into coaching and advising young athletes, helping them grow and avoid the pitfalls he once faced. It's this role, being a guide and teacher, that brings him the deepest satisfaction. One defining moment came when Mark announced on Busted Open in 2019 that he would one day donate his brain to science. This was a powerful decision intended to support research into chronic traumatic encephalopathy and to protect future athletes from the injuries he knows all too well. His hope is simple, that his experience will benefit his children and all those who come after. Legacy and looking forward. Today, Mark Henry's life is anchored by family, mentorship, and meaning. Whether he's tending the land, guiding new athletes, or quietly giving back, his journey is far from over. It's a quieter chapter, but one filled with purpose. A man who's turned every hardship into a lesson and every victory into a chance to help others. If Mark Henry's story inspired you, remember to leave a like, subscribe for more stories like this, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us which part of his journey resonated with you, and stay tuned as we continue exploring extraordinary lives behind the spotlight.